Well, good afternoon. My name is Lance. I'm North Dakota Carnivore. I've been doing the Carnivore Lifestyle, Carnivore Diet for the last 311 days now, and been doing pretty damn good at it too, if I don't say so myself. I mean, what can I say? Coming off of 5 blood pressure medications within 6 weeks, coming off my allergy medications, not needing any medications at all anymore. That's not to mention that I was prescribed statins that, yes, I took my statin for about 2 weeks and it caused me enough pain that I stopped taking it because I didn't like the way it made me feel. That was years ago. I was supposed to be taking these big fish oil pills that the number of prescriptions I was supposed to be taking was like 8 or 9, 10 prescription medicines. I sold for the 5 blood pressure medications that almost put my blood pressure to normal. And I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of the medications. What was causing my blood pressure to be high? The doctor didn't care. All the doctor wanted to do is give me a prescription. I wanted to know what made it go high. They didn't care. I saw a crazy guy on TikTok, actually, Carnivore Ray, talking about losing weight and feeling better, getting off his depressants, all this stuff changing for him, and I had to take a look at it. So I watched a few of his videos on TikTok. I searched them on YouTube. I watched them on YouTube, and that made me look for the Carnivore Diet on YouTube. From there, I ran into, what you'll hear a lot of people on YouTube call the good doctors, the carnivore doctors, Dr. Barry, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Baker, Dr. Hampton. I mean, there's a whole list of these guys out there. There's nutritionists like Laura Spath, or not Laura Spath. She's just an influencer, but she's a hell of a good influencer. Her and her husband, Chris, have been doing this for about 8 years. Judy Cho is a nutritionist. I don't know why I keep mixing those two up. They totally different way of doing everything. But there's so many people on there. And then I've been on X a lot, and there's a lot of people on X. There's a lot of doctors on X that do the carnivore diet, and they recommend it for the people, and they give you honest information. The stuff that they're giving you on YouTube and on Twitter, it's free. They're not charging you for it. They're giving you honest information. When was the last time your doctor gave you honest information? Your doctor's got so many minutes to spend with you, get you in, get you out, and get that paycheck from you, right? That's what they want. That's all they're there for, is to get your money. They're not there to treat you. They're not there to help you. They're there just to get you as a number and get you on a prescription so that you have to keep coming back to them. It's a for-profit industry. Why? Healthcare should not be, it's not healthcare. It's really not. It's actually just the opposite of healthcare. They try to keep you unhealthy. That's why they give you a prescription. It's not to help you out. It's to keep them getting money. It's for their profits, not yours, not for your benefit, not for your health. The people that are on the social media platforms, the doctors that are on there, and I could care less about the other influencers right now. The doctors that are on there, these are doctors who have been trained the same as your doctor, but something has clicked with them, and they are like, hey, what we're teaching these people and what we're telling these people is not working for them. Maybe we should do something different. What do you think? You keep doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. What is that? That's a definition of insanity. Why? It just doesn't make sense. So, hey, if you're tired of being overweight, if you're tired of your autoimmune disease, if you're tired of your blood pressure being sky high and on 5 blood pressure medications like I am, or I was, if you're tired of your type 2 diabetes, you've been doing the same thing for how long? Has it gotten any better? Why not look at something that can help you? The carnivore diet, the carnivore way of eating, it's a high fat diet. It's a high animal fat diet. And what I mean by that is you get most of your calories from fat. A gram of fat has 9 calories. A gram of protein has 4 calories. So if you eat a gram and a gram, you get more calories from the fat. You have to eat more than 2 grams of protein to get the same for calories as a gram of fat. So that's why it's a high fat diet. It's not a high protein diet. You get the majority of your calories from the fat. It doesn't have to be the weight of what you're eating. It has to be the calories that you're eating. So if you want to do this, eat the fat. A ribeye steak is about the proper fat to protein. That's what you're looking for, something like that. 75-25 ground beef. 70-30 is better. Add a little extra butter to stuff. Add some ghee to it. Add some tallow to it. Stop using seed oils. Seed oils were originally industrial lubricants that didn't work, and they started selling them for human foods. They're not food. It's not meant to be used for frying stuff. Stop using seed oils, or what they say are vegetable oils. They're not vegetables. They're seeds, and they're gross. They're disgusting, and they're just not good for you. Grains of all types are not good for you. I've got a skin condition right here. You can still see this used to be all the way through here. You can see where it's healed and the pigment's coming back. 10 months ago, I stopped eating seed oils. I stopped eating refined sugars. I stopped eating all plants. I've stopped eating all carbohydrates. I've been eating ruminant animals, red meats. I've been eating some fish like salmon, scallops, shrimp. Very little chicken. I've been eating some pork, as in bacon, pork belly, pork shoulder, for pulled pork ribs, stuff like that. Yes, I have had some of that, but I also eat a lot of extra fat when I eat those, because those don't have the fat that a ruminant animal does. And you have to eat the fatty cuts of the meat. And you have to eat the ribeye, the New York strip, the chuck roast. You have to eat, like when I eat a brisket, I have extra tallow I put on my brisket to bring the fat content up. And I soak my brisket in it. It's delicious. But it's helped me to get off of 5 blood pressure medications. It helped me get off my allergy medicines. It's helped me become happy again. I'm a happy person. I'm an easygoing person now. I used to be an asshole. Well, I still am. That's what, I don't mind. But I choose it now when I am and when I'm not, which is different than what it was before. Before, I was just an asshole. That's all there was to it. I used to get angry. I used to get upset. I wasn't always a nice person to be around. My wife actually likes being around me now. I don't mind doing little things, going shopping. I used to hate to do that because I never had the energy. The last 2 days, in 2012, I was 292 pounds. I was pretty big then. And I was working as a rig manager in the oil field. I worked 12-hour, well, I lived on the rig 24 hours a day for 14 days. So it's a long time to be in the same spot. Now, I was the only one on that rig as the rig manager, so I was responsible 24 hours a day. Every day I was there. And I started gaining a lot of weight when I started doing that job. And I was probably 250 when I started it, and then I got up to like 292, I believe is what the highest I remember seeing. And I started doing Insanity, the Beachbody workout with Shaun T. I did Insanity over and over and over. And then I did Insanity, the Asylum. I did that a few times. Then I went back to Insanity. And then I went to Insanity, the Asylum, Volume 2, and I did that a couple times. And I went back to Insanity, and I did Focus T25. And I did Insanity Max 30. And then I couldn't get a heart rate on my chest strap. I used to wear a chest strap whenever I did a workout so I could watch my heart rate. Because, back then I was in my 40s. I wanted to make sure I was, staying safe. Ooh, I couldn't get my heart rate. I didn't feel quite right. I felt off. My wife ended up taking me into the emergency room. I was in AFib, which is different. I've always had an extra heartbeat, and that was normal. That was in my medical records from when I was a kid through the military. My whole life, I've always had it. So it wasn't that. I've had the EKGs before, or ECGs, whatever the hell you want to call them. I've had those before, and I never showed AFib. But this time I was in AFib, and I was in it for a while. I was in the hospital for 3 days until they got me out of it. I went to a different doctor because the hospital that I was in, I don't like them. They're not the best. They tried killing me once before that. So I stopped going to them. Now, I've also went to a new doctor, got put on medications. I did a lot of research on what was happening with my heart and with that extra heartbeat and the way things were working and stuff like that. And I had ideas of what it might be. But doctor didn't agree. I went and saw a cardiologist and talked to him. He didn't agree either. I told him what I wanted because, I'm the patient. He said no. They put me on a medication. And that worked it kept my heart stable out of AFib for a couple of years. And then in 2016, it stopped working. That medicine did. I was at work. I was outside with the guys that worked for me. I was a night shift supervisor. And we were doing some stuff outside, and I got dizzy and leaned up against a building and squatted down. And I wear a Fitbit. I checked my Fitbit, and my heart rate was 25. I'm like, well, that explains why I don't feel good. And I sat there for a second. My heart rate went right back up. Went back up to, it was in the 80s, and then I went to, it was like 140 or 150, and then it went back down to 80. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go back in the plant, and I'm going to, just have a cup of coffee, relax for a minute. And while I was even sitting in there and having a cup of coffee, I did it again. So I stayed the whole night. My wife wasn't happy, but the next morning we went to see my doctor, and it did it again while I was there. And then an ambulance got called, and I got sent to the hospital, the one I don't like. Of course, the medication I was given when I was originally there, my cardiologist, who works for a different hospital, took me off of that, changed my medications. Well, when going through and giving them a list of what my current medications are, they didn't listen, and they put me on the other medications, and they tried killing me second time. It's not good. But I ended up having the what I wanted to begin with when I talked to my cardiologist the first time was I wanted a catheter ablation of my heart to basically put scar tissue in my heart where I was getting the extra heartbeats from, because I felt it was the extra heartbeats that were being caused that I've always had just gotten worse, and it was being in different spots. So I wanted the catheter ablation to resolve that. And he disagreed with me back when I first started seeing him. 3 years later, he was like, yeah. It's either that or you can go on a stronger medication and a stronger one. I'm like, no, let's do the surgery. So 2017, I had surgery. Now, when I was doing the insanity and stuff, I did that from 2012 until 2016 when that medication stopped working for me. My cardiologist took me off of, had me stop doing all my workouts. He had me stop doing all the healthy eating shit that I was doing, which wasn't healthy. It wasn't helping me. It was actually bad for me. Low fat, low protein, basically more plant-based diet, more vegetables and shit like that. And, plant-based protein shakes. But I stopped doing all that. And at that time, I was probably, the first time it happened, before I got put on the medications, I was down to 212 pounds. After I got put on medications, and I don't know why every freaking heart medication, one of the side effects of a heart medication, you have to look through it because it's always one of the slight ones. But that's what seems to really get me is weight gain. Every time I take a medication, if it says that there's a very slight chance of weight gain, yes, I gain the weight. And I gain it fast and I gain it now. Doesn't fucking matter. So I went from 212 pounds in 2015 or 2014, 2016 when it stopped working, I was probably 225, 230. And by the time I had my surgery in February of 2017, I was 250 pounds, 260 pounds. December of 2023, I was 347 pounds on 5 blood pressure medications, and things just kept getting worse for me. So August 2024, I've been watching YouTube videos since July. Well, actually, I've been watching Carnivore Race since June. July and most of August, I watched a whole lot of YouTube videos with the doctors and the nurses, the nutritional therapists and stuff like that were doing the carnivore diet. And I watched a ton of them. I watched some that the people on there, they may be great people, but I didn't like their personalities, so I didn't really care for them. But I'd watch some of their videos just to see what they had to say and stuff. And I still don't follow them. I still don't watch them because I didn't like them. But they're still, good people. A lot of people have respect for them. A lot of the doctors that I watch talk about these other people and have respect for them, but I just don't care for them. But going back to everything now, the last, what has it been? Last almost 2 months now, I've tried curbing the amount of weight loss that I've had. In 7 months, I lost over 100 pounds. I'm at 10 months now. I've lost 111 pounds. I've tried limiting the amount of weight that I've lost. And I tried slowing it down because I felt I was losing it too fast. I felt my body was losing it too fast. It was getting not in the right portions is basically what I'm thinking. So I've slowed down. I've ate a lot more food, a lot more products. And one of the easiest way to slow down weight loss is to include more dairy into your food, into what you eat. So if you're trying to lose weight, you want to avoid dairy. If you're trying to keep stable and with anything else, you can add dairy into it. I'm talking like heavy whipping cream, cheese, okay, cottage cheese, sour cream, stuff like that. If you add those in, it's going to affect your weight loss. It will tremendously slow it down to the point where, yeah, I mean, the actual amount of meat that I eat is probably maybe 10% more than what I was before, but I've been adding in cheeses and I've been adding in the heavy whipping cream, and I've been using stuff like that. So I've been trying to do this here to keep my weight more stable. Right around the 230, I'm down to 224 now. But I was trying to keep it around the 230 mark. And I've done that for the last 2 months. Now, going forward, I just finished a 5-day fast. That's why I'm down to 224. I just finished a 5-day fast. I'm down to 224 pounds. I'm going to start doing workouts again. I did an interview with Adam Lacey here a while back, and it should be coming out soon. That's one of the questions he asked me on my interview with him, is whether or not I've done any workouts. And up to this point, 10 months in, 311 days into my carnivore diet, I haven't really done a workout. I've lifted some weights now and then, but I haven't done anything consistent more than like one day in a week. I haven't walked on the treadmill more than a couple of days in a week, and that was when it was cold out. Now I can walk outside because it's nice. But I was thinking of the workouts I used to do, and the Focus T25. I used to love that workout. Don't get me wrong, Insanity is insane. I'm not in my 40s. I don't think Insanity is something that you want to do as a 58-year-old. I really don't know. Focus T25, though, that's a 25-minute workout. Maybe if I can do this for 6 weeks, and I can go through the alpha, the beta, and the gamma, 2 weeks of each of them, maybe I can do Insanity as a 58-year-old former fat boy. That would be awesome. But and the reason I want to do it is I'm losing the weight, I'm losing the fat. There's still some skin that is loose. When I did Insanity before, that loose skin went away as I lost weight. So I want to try that. I want to see if I can tone up the muscle. I want to see if I can get some of that back so that I don't have that looseness of the skin. One of the other things that happened too is back in March, I quit chewing Copenhagen and I quit using nicotine altogether. And I had a difficult time with that, and I didn't want to use that as an excuse for why I was not going to be losing weight. Because the last time I quit chewing Copenhagen, I gained like 100 fucking pounds, and that happened really fast. That's one of the reasons why I tried just maintaining my weight and not losing weight, not worrying about whether I lost weight. I wanted to get past the stage of where it had anything to do with that, and it doesn't. So what I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be doing my Focus T25 workouts 6 days a week. It's 5 workouts and 1 day is a stretching day. But that stretch day is actually, it's an important day to have to, just slow down and just stretch, because it's actually something that's really important. And I started this yesterday. I did the Focus T25 cardio yesterday. Today I did the Speed 1.0. I just got done doing that. Whew, I'm still, probably can't tell with this shirt on, I'm still sweating. It's fucking hot. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to see if I can't tone up my arms, my legs, my flabby belly just a little bit. And do a 25-minute a day workout. So that's about what I wanted to come on here and talk about. If you like what you hear here, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, leave me a comment. I'll get back to you. Remember, the carnivore diet is a proper human diet. It's eating ruminant animals the way we're supposed to. And there you go. Eat meat, be happy. Because it actually works.